Question everything, for the truth should not be televised. And that's for sure. So with that, you know, why when Aboriginal Negroes of America talk about justice in the form of reparative justice, which is reparations owed legally to Aboriginal Negroes of America based off the crimes against humanity done to them, why when they talk about it, or when I talk about it, or anyone talk about it, we're not looked at as a people who has a history of surviving hatred and violence and still surviving that hatred to this day, needing justice? Why we're not looked at as a people who should get justice? Why do we keep trying to put racism and hatred and prejudice into this bowl of justice and honor and righteousness? They're two different things. How do you put those realities with justice or honor or being righteous in the sense of doing the right thing? If a wrong is being done to a people, the only recourse is to correct that wrong. But for some reason, when it comes to melanated people, Aboriginal Negroes of America, or black people here in under United States, the greatest criminal empire that the world has ever seen, or around the world, when it comes to the justice of doing right by correcting the wrongs that have been done to their bloodlines, why do all you other nations that are not melanated people come out with such hatred for that reality, which is justice for those that have been done wrong, that are melanated people? Why do you attack correcting a wrong that's been done? We're sitting here with laws today. The folks that created the laws, that write the laws into the books, are the same folks that committed some of the most heinous crimes in the world. They are the ones who invaded the lands, forced folks to do all sorts of things that was unlawful in the name of their law, so that way they can become rich in abundance of wealth and resources to themselves, and in turn devastating nations all around that they invaded, devastating the population of people all the way around that they invaded, and in turn made themselves the dominance of controlling the resources around the world, as those who fell victim to that invasion found themselves trying to survive with bare minimum, and in turn put their bloodlines in a position of extreme poverty around the world, on a level that generations after generations after generations one was unable to get out of that impoverished state, to the point where they pass on the destruction and poverty that they was forced into by some of the greatest and most heinous holocausts the world has ever seen. But yet when it is spoken upon, when it comes to bringing justice, those that don't have melon in abundance seem to get mad and angry about justice. Those that don't have melon seems to try to say Well, it was in the past. And nothing should be done, even though we know that the suffering for that past destruction is still present in today's descendants as we speak. Those that survived that destruction, their bloodlines are still struggling from that destruction, but yet we don't want to give them any type of justice for it. That's like saying right now in 2024 that somebody kidnapped you allegedly 40 years ago, and 40 years later when you're found by your family and the kidnappers are caught, that they shouldn't be brought to justice, that they should get away with it. But the family members of the kidnapped child been suffering for 40 years, don't know if their child is deleted off the planet or what heinous atrocities have happened to their child, and been worried about their child for 40 years. And finally, when they finally catch the assailants and able to get their child at this old age now, that the Justice Department says, well, hey, you know, that was the past. Those people shouldn't have to pay for nothing they did to that grown child or that grown person today. They kidnapped a child. What kind of sick, twisted reality that we live under that pushes down crimes on a level of Holocaust, genocide, and massacres that bloodlines have to survive to say that they should get no justice after surviving it and enduring it and still being stuck with the inheritors of the forefathers that done it to them. Never being liberated, never being separated, but yet still justice won't move based off of these type of thoughts. It was in the past. Go figure, right? This is the game that is being played by those that control the law, who are the ones who did the invasion, who are the ones who passed down generational wealth to their inheritors off of that invasion, who now controls their system that was built off of that invasion, that caused the Holocaust, that set up these atrocities for the Aboriginal Negroes to endure. Today's children don't want to own up to the wealth and the empire that they sit in control of based off of the Holocausts they caused. United States is here. So if United States is here and the wealth is still here being passed down, then the crimes are still here. They're not in the past. They're in the present right now as we speak, because those that have the wealth from the crimes that was committed through the Holocausts, massacres, and genocides are still spending the wealth, are still holding and hoarding the wealth, passing it on to their inheritors. And if they can still pass the wealth on to their inheritors, then the wealth is still a part of the Holocaust. And if the wealth is still a part of the Holocaust, then the crime still stands as we speak in 2024. Thus, making it not in the past, but making it in the presence of right now, based off of the wealth still circling around. Wouldn't that make sense? Because a crime has been done, the wealth is still being utilized, and the people bloodline that fell under that crime are still suffering based off of the atrocities that has happened to them. Well, these are thoughts. Well, I don't know. And I don't understand. For that is the question. You let me know. Peace, peace.